Come on, motherfuckers, come on. Come on, motherfuckers, come on. Yeah. Come on, motherfuckers, come on. Come on, motherfuckers, come on. Release the brainstorm to make your motherfucking brain warm. A strange form, something kind of lyrical. Biggie the bastard, so that's kind of spiritual. Well, in God we trust, guns are bust, got that disgusting suicide thumping. And do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that I bring? I got 7 Mac 11s, about 8, 38, 9, 9, 10 Mac 10s. The shits never end. You can't touch my riches, even if you had MC Hammer and the 3.
I forgot we had that one. I saw it. I was looking through it. I was like, what the fuck is this snail doing on here?
Is that a reference to the pace at which we put out new podcasts?
Yes. Yeah, that's actually we're caught up right now. Hold on. Let me look.
But we haven't produced one.
We haven't fucking made one
in 3 months.
Yeah, we're caught up on the SoundCloud, but I haven't made shit in a while. Yeah.
Those European fans, man, they're wondering where we at.
Dude, seriously. Where are we? Alaska, US. Saltburn by the Sea. That's a fucking place in Brussels, apparently. I guess we're big in Germany. Hey, Ian, that's what we're going to talk about is Copperhead. I'm getting reverb off of somebody. Like I can hear.
I think it's me, and I'm trying to figure out how to turn down my headset, and it's insanely loud.
I guess I'm not hearing it.
Every time, Carl.
Bro, this is what happens when you have 2 stream PCs and a digital soundboard instead of just a mechanical one.
And none of them are set up properly.
No.
No.
Oh,
Just making it up as we go along.
But yeah, long story short, Copperhead was a lot of fucking fun. We'll get into, I guess, why exactly, but I had a great fucking time. The event was awesome. There's 860 something fucking people there, so it's like the biggest event I think ever for at least for MS. But it's the biggest event I've ever been to.
Yeah, I think so.
There are a shit fuck ton of people.
How many?
860 something.
Damn.
Counting vendors. Yeah, it was a lot. There's a lot of motherfuckers out there, dude. It was for an AO that large. Like you didn't travel very far without getting shot at.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh man, fix your shit.
I'm trying to fix
your shit.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. I don't even know what that was.
God damn it, Ian.
No, Ian, but something did happen with that particular individual, and I will let you know about that off stream because it's way fucking funnier than I would have thought.
None of my apps want to open either. This is great. My computer's.
All right. Well, while Carl is figuring his shit out. So
mute myself real quick.
Quick timeline. Let's see. No, it's Corey. You're the one I'm hearing.
Okay.
Weird. Anyways, so timeline is we left Tuesday at like midnight, give or take.
Is that any better?
Yeah.
Yep.
We left Tuesday at like midnight, right?
Yeah. We left Tuesday at 10:40 and ended up getting there around Wednesday at 11-ish.
Yeah, you guys got early.
Well, we went to Tucson. We went to Jennifer's Freedom Airsoft Field.
Wow, that's cool.
It's cool, man. Tucson's dope. We got there around like noon the following day on Wednesday. We shot some real still shit. We checked out the airsoft field, went for a night ride, did a bunch of cool stuff.
Shot a commercial.
We shot a couple commercials, but Jen's got a deal with, is it Gadsden? Like Gadsden flags?
Gadsden.
Gadsden,
that's cigars.
Gadsden cigars, and they're actually pretty decent. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, we were all surprised by how good they were. Like, I'm gonna order some.
Yeah, no, 100%. And after having chiefed 2 of them in the span of like 15 minutes trying to shoot a movie, I was green as fuck.
Yeah,
when we went for that night ride,
trying to catch smoke in camera, it requires a lot of the actors.
A lot of puffing, huffing and a puffing. So like I'm just chiefing on these fucking cigars, and then Corey's like, "Oh, let's go for a night ride," and I'm just like turning fucking different shades of green in the back seat, like doing one of these.
Ugh.
It was,
No,
it
it
was
was
fucking horrible.
it was pretty funny. But we got some good shots, which that's what I'm about to start working on here pretty quick.
Ooh,
Ended
Is
up
it like-
shooting. Yeah, we ended up shooting 3 separate commercials. I was prepared for one, and in the second I got to the AO, met with the CEO of Body Armor Event, and he wanted to shoot something. We had discussed it a while back, and I think it had just kind of slipped my mind. But
well, we've been using Body Armor Vent for years now too. Like
Yeah.
I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of the product. I'm even bigger fan now that they have created the new system that is comes in sheets that you can cut to fit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fucking like, because I can make shoulder pads
Those are
and shit
dope.
out of them now. Yeah, it's
Those are
really
dope.
cool. It's a super neat product. Definitely a big fan, and it's cool that they're kind of so heavily involved in the airsoft space, as it were. So yeah, we got snagged to do or Corey and Wayne got snagged to do something for that, and Cass and I just like piddled along for the ride. It's pretty fun.
So was that at Jenny Lynn's field, or was that at?
That was at Copperhead.
That was at Copperhead. Yeah. We were only there to essentially pick her up and park the trailer and meet up with all the California people. So we caravanned with about, I don't know,
Yeah, we
10
got
people.
Yeah, well, so we got there, then they got there because it was like Miguel, Cass, Rudy,
Sam.
Samtronics, or Sam Airsoft, or Sam, or whatever she's going by now, and then Tapia. So, and then Ollie, of course. So
Yeah,
it was a cool crew. We had a pretty fun little group of nerds rolling around.
Yeah. No, it was a really, really good group. The Vans gang's growing.
It is growing, and my
There's a
collection of
lot of-
Vans is growing.
There was a lot of people in that picture. So I'm gonna have to get some more patches made because we're going through them pretty
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
Damn.
Speaking of patches, because he's not here. Carl, I need to send you one of these.
Okay.
But we finally. Yeah. Open, you bitch. Oh, it's got like a tab. What the fuck? Hold on. Technical difficulties. I'm figuring out how to fucking open this stupid
While
ass
Cole
bag.
is riding the struggle bus with his bag. Yes,
Dude,
he
I'm
did
ready.
snipe.
Here we go.
He sniped day one, and then we did some more running.
Well,
again in day
so
two.
I fucking tried to snipe day one, but for whatever reason, Copperhead this year decided that it was going to be the windiest it's ever fucking been ever. And so like
Both days?
even dude, yeah, but day two was insane. Day two was fucking ridiculously windy. So like I was able to. I started day one sniping for a bit. Was really enjoying it because it's Copperhead's a great AO to use a sniper rifle. So I had like ghillie top. It's all decked out. I'm currently running Spiritus Systems' new Alpha 34 split chest rig, and I absolutely fucking love it. Cannot say enough good things about it. The ability to just be able to like fucking drop and lay down prone whenever you want, completely encumbered with all your shit, and it was still like you can still lay flat, is super cool. I've rigged mine out rather, like for airsoft sniping specifically, but it works for any of my loadouts, which is really cool.
You'll have to show me
So-
that. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's really neat. I'll show you how the setup works. But I mean, I had a good time using the sniper rifle when it was not ridiculously windy. Got a bunch of really good shots on people. That X Customs VSR 10 HPA build is fucking stupid. That gun's so silly. But like I said, day two, it was just too fucking windy to mess with it. So I gave up. I busted out the BCM and I went a kicking indoors with Cass, and it was a lot of fucking fun.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we have a little vaulted something or another from our boy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Our,
And then-
That's sick.
Dun
Yep.
dun dun.
Come on, autofocus. There it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
baby.
we had Punk made us custom Tiger Stripe slaughter patches, which I don't know how many there are in existence, but I think it's just
So he's got a kid that it has a vaulted, like has a custom only made vaulted patch that is this, but like the outline is blue
yeah, I saw that
on the
one.
lettering. So there's that, and then there's only 15 of these.
15, yeah. So it's pretty dope.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it.
Hell yeah.
It looks like you're drinking cough syrup, Cole. What is that?
It's fucking kombucha.
It literally looks like a cough syrup bottle.
Trying to watch my gut health. You know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What about the gunner that got you in it? Yeah. So fucking. So there's one point in day. We'll go on a timeline here in a second, but Ellis is talking about. I got shot more in one sitting than I ever have been in airsoft. Period. On day one.
Really?
So I'm on top of the market. So like anyone who's been to Copperhead knows if you're looking at the market down the street, there's buildings here and there's buildings here and there's the pathway that is the market. On the backside, there's an area that you normally can't get to. I brought a little extendo ladder that I promptly left at Corey's.
Nice.
But I got up on the section where you normally can't get to, and I laid down on the flat section just in time for a technical to come rolling up the street. Somehow no one had fucking tagging rounds. Whatever. So we can't kill this fucking thing. So it comes creeping on the street and it gets closer and it gets closer. And I'm sitting there like kind of propped up watching it and I'm waiting for the wind to die down. And at the perfect time, the wind dies and I rip one off and I hit the fucking gunner like square in between the eyes. And I just hear, fuck, ow. And he goes down. Another kid immediately jumps on the gun and I had already racked and I shoot another one off and I hit him in the fucking face. Well, it is at this moment, all four doors on this on this white pickup truck open, and four or five different fucking HP8 LMGs get out and annihilate my ass. All of them, just, and I'm like, I get hit and like I go fucking Jesus, and I like pull my dead rack. It doesn't hurt too bad because it's like they're a good distance away, but I get fucking just bukkakied in BBs, and it's horrifying. And like it's so bad that even one of the green team guys who is dead across the street just goes like does one of those. I just hear him go ooh, and I was like, fucking son of a bitch. Yeah, I that was pretty fucking. I mean, I was proud of myself for the repeated fucking slit shots because he had like one of the guards or whatever on the turret.
How far do you think it was?
Not super far, like 200 feet. It wasn't a particularly difficult shot, but with the amount of wind I was dealing with, I was like putting it through about a 6-inch gap or about a 4-inch gap. With the wind as bad as it was because I had to like curve it a little bit. I was really happy with it. Because normally, if there's not a lot of wind, that's an easy shot at like 250 plus feet. But with that much backspin, it kind of sucked. But yeah, I mean that was a fun part. There's a bunch of like cool things that happened during the event that I want to talk about. But I think the first thing I want to talk about is the aforementioned fucking tagging rounds, because Corey and I have been going back and forth on these fucking things for a bit, and it looks like AMS and everyone else is kind of caught up to the game of, oh, hey, these are kind of awful.
Just get rid of them. They're stupid. It's the dumbest thing. Listen, if you're a person that goes out and spends a ton of money on them, you're probably a butthole. That's all there is to it.
So
like their only purpose, the only thing they can possibly do if you hit somebody with them is hurt them. So what's the point?
So
what's the point?
Why are they so used?
And the argument, I guess, would be like you can still shoot them at vehicles, but
yeah,
you're shooting something that explodes at somebody. Like an EG-67 hits, it cooks off, you have time to run away, and even those probably go off in somebody's hand every once in a while.
Yeah, sure. Dude, they're chickpeas inside of fucking cardboard. Like it's not.
But these are a much denser round, traveling at I don't know, maybe 200 feet per second. How fast are they?
I don't know. But quick.
Yeah,
they scoot.
But I mean, I've only ever seen people get hurt by them. And last year, we literally had somebody's face blown off. So what's the point? Just tell me what the point is. What can you do with that you can't do with the stupid Nerf thing? Like you can hit a car with it and admit, it's no different than an airsoft BB that bounces off of you, and then just call your freaking hit and go about it.
And AMS has caught up to this, and you can tell it's at very much the behest of the medical staff that they brought with them to Copperhead. Because that guy straight up is like, I fucking hate these things. Like, I don't think they have a place because they're just dumb. They're really fucking dangerous. I hate them. I don't want to deal with them. You have kinetic impact and you have blowback. My biggest problem with them before even taking the medical stuff into account, right, is the fact that they give people the ability to just money fuck the game and make it miserable for everybody else. Like,
so was there a particular scenario that like happened that multiple. Yeah, you guys got overwhelmed or like somebody got hurt?
No.
Multiple corpsman calls. Like
what happened Well, the reason why like it was a bigger issue this year is because last year I want to say it was somebody in a vehicle, like literally caught one in the mouth, and it like blew their cheek open, if I remember right,
Oh,
something
wow.
like that.
Yeah.
The guy had to be med flighted out.
No way.
Yeah, the
Man.
guy had to be med flighted out, and the whole thing with like Implius, you're an hour away from a 0 level trauma, and then you're another hour and 45-minute flight from a trauma 1, which you would have to go to for an injury like that.
Damn.
So it's just dumb. It's just dumb. Anything that has that capability, like I get it. Like you get shot with an airsoft BB in the mouth, it hurts. Worst case scenario, you lose a tooth. But it's like you're shooting something that explodes, and it's just dumb. There's no argument for it. There's no argument for it at all. It doesn't
Especially
add
when
to the
you've
game.
got the Nerf, like I get it, they're cool, they are cool, like, and people are like, oh, the only people who don't like them, there's some dumb fuck there who is like, the only people who don't like them, the people that can't afford them. I got money. It's like, yeah, dude, so do I. These things are fucking stupid though. Like the ability, first off, the ability for them to be able to money fuck a game with them, because there are certain people and teams that have done it in the past, and it's just fucking dumb. It ruins the experience for everybody. And then the fact that they damage vehicles, they damage people. Most people that I see that use them to a like a ridiculous degree, like they carry more than they're supposed to. They cheat the rules with them. You know, normally if you cheat the rules in airsoft, nobody gets fucking hurt. You
Yes,
cheat the rules with a fucking tagging round, and somebody somebody can get hospitalized. It's nuts.
Yeah,
and to their
man.
credit, AMS had instituted a bunch of new fucking rules, which some people were trying to groan and bitch about, but they make sense. They were like, you have to be 200 feet away from a person to shoot the tagging at them, which I think that rule needs to be changed to you can't shoot them at fucking people, period.
Yeah. As far as I know,
like-
there weren't any. Were there any incidents? There weren't any incidents this year.
Not any bad ones, but I think almost every single corpsman call except for the one with the bees was because of tag-ins.
There was one where I think a guy full autoed somebody pretty close.
Okay.
Damn.
Or at least that's what I heard him yelling about.
Because there were corpsman calls like a motherfucker that whole weekend. Like 10 minutes. I think we were 10 minutes into the game before the first blind man corpsman call went off, and they went off repeatedly. Which, it's a big AO, it's a challenging AO. There's a lot of interesting terrain. There's stuff like snakes, there's stuff like bees. So like that's to be expected. I'm really not that surprised that we had that stuff, but I felt like every time I would hear like a thump, whee, and then I would hear a fucking corpsman call. It felt like
I don't know. I didn't hear anything specifically, but all that aside, for that amount of people, it was a fantastic event. I thought it went really well.
It was smoothly ran. AMS did a great job of keeping everything tight and organized. Admins.
Did the corpsman calls like ruin the flow of the game at all though?
Yes.
Yeah, they fuck it up.
So there was a rumor going around that maybe one of the teams was calling corpsman every time they're about to get raided, and it did feel like our blind man, and it felt like that 2 times where we had him completely surrounded and we were making a push, and then it happened. And there was one time where I saw it happen, and 2 people climbed up on a roof. So, like during blind man when nobody was supposed to be moving.
During the corpsman call with the bees,
but it always happened.
I watched at least 30 people from one team go back to an aid station and then come back just in time for the corpsman call to be called off. And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, it always happens during blind man. Somebody scoots around or somebody repositions.
Yeah,
but
nobody.
There was 2 times in particular where there was a pretty good assault about to happen, and they called blind man. And then I heard a rumor. And of course it's probably everybody's salty by day 2, but
and it's
Copperhead. But they said every time one team was making a push, the other team was calling blind man, and there were a lot of blind man calls. I felt like that. I never saw really result in anything, so it's kind of
luckily. I don't think anyone was seriously hurt at any point in time.
Not that I know,
except for the bees. One guy got stung by some bees, and he had an allergic. He was allergic to them, but I'm pretty sure they got an EpiPen to him pretty quickly, whatever it was that he needed. Medical staff was super on point. Their response time was insanely fast for like snakes and shit. Like those dudes were there.
Yeah.
Like they were just
they have like a dedicated like snake wrangler.
Yeah,
but
how many
I saw a lot.
did you guys have?
I will say this, for as many people as were there, I saw a lot of admin on the field, which I like.
Yep.
Good. I felt like admin were on top of everything.
Greg, I don't know the new guy. I saw Greg everywhere. Greg was all over the fucking place. The admin staff was great. They did a good job of like marking shit off that was supposed to be marked off. I felt like they streamlined a lot of things that needed to be streamlined as far as like briefing goes. And they were running like actual fragos, which was cool. I don't know how you got involved in that during the game or like what the deal was, but they had some breaching fragos that like they had in a sectioned off area from the game, and like we got to watch them blow open a fucking door and go in. At least green team. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a Frago, I guess, or something. It was pretty cool.
I have no idea what it was. It looked neat.
And they had explosions going off at night. That was cool too.
Yep. They had fireworks and shit.
Hell yeah.
We of course didn't participate in the night game because we're big fat shitters, and
that was my next question.
Night games
Never.
Play. No.
Did you
I'm
hear
I'm too old
it went,
to get hurt.
or
It went great. I didn't hear a single complaint about the game at all, really.
Yeah, no, I think everybody was pretty pleased.
like even
Which, you know,
even
one of
though
the-
it's-
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, even though it seemed pretty one sided, I don't think it got too ridiculous.
Day one seemed back and forth. I felt like there was a lot of give and take. Day two, there's always attrition on day two to the point where one team pretty much just overwhelms the other one.
hell yeah.
We had cost pretty much pushed all the way into the marketplace and nowhere else, I think, day two. But day one, I felt like there was a little bit of give and take on there.
UFS has a very bad track record, and this could be because they want to play the night game, but it seems like Tan Team fucking quits halfway through the day.
The first day.
Dude,
Really?
Forever, like clockwork, man. Tan Team gives the fuck up halfway through day one. I don't know what it
'Cause-
is. I don't know. It could be just me imagining shit, but like, it seems like Tan Team quits a lot.
I mean, when the year, how many years ago was it since I went out there with you guys? 2 or 3?
Oh,
Was
three?
that 5 or
Yeah,
4? That was
that was
5.
3. Yeah,
No. When it was like all of us in the house, I'm pretty sure that
that
was
was 5. That was Copperhead
Yeah.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like that went smoothly. Like, and a lot of people played and stayed out there.
Well,
So, yeah, I
Wayne-
wonder if it's been the last few years.
Hey, Wayne's here. Sweet baby Wayne. Yeah, but Wayne, you pulled Corey and Jen off the field for a couple hours, not me. I'm out there running
Yeah,
around
that
by myself like an
was-
asshole.
Yeah, that was video shoot number 2. They they wanted to do like a cool outro. There was actually like an actor there, a couple actors there that are working on like a method acting school for tactics and stuff like that. The guy, super cool. Danny was his name. He wants to set up a school where essentially you can just send actors through, so they come out the other side at least having some semblance of like what it's like to be
Experience.
experienced. So you don't get guys with buttstocks under their armpits or guys looking over the sight the whole time when they're shooting at 500 yards. So yeah, I mean, it's a cool concept. But anyway, he was part of the damn mission. I think he played one of the hostages, and they wanted to do this little short like outro that I think is supposed to go into the next damn mission at the next game. So just adding a little like cinematic element to the damn missions, which has always been my idea. I feel like every game should have like some connective tissue, like a short video or something explaining like, or maybe just a recap video with some footage explaining why one team won or the other. But that's just the way my brain works. So it was cool though. I'm not gonna give away what happened, but
I miss AMS having like produced narratives. I do miss that. So it's cool that like that might be kind of coming back. And I don't know if that's a Frosty thing specifically. But obviously you and Wayne are insanely talented, so they've got a lot of schmutz to throw into that, which is cool.
What were you guys using for camp? Was it like your guys' FX3 Corey that you guys were using?
I think Wayne shot on his FX3 and he had an A7 IV, which are like much lower end cameras than what he typically uses. But for like a run and gun production, the FX3 is phenomenal. I used it for ours that we shot the Gadsden cigar commercial on. Wayne says FX3. It was the FX3.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, it's a phenomenal camera. It's really, really, really good. But we shot the damn mission. We shot the body armor event commercial, which we didn't go too much into that, but that's going to be cool too. And then we did the Gadsden cigar commercial. So a lot of work to do.
That's awesome.
But they all look cool. I mean, that photo that David Lee sent out of my razor and Cole sliding the butt end out. That's from the body armor event commercial. So there's a drone shot of that. That's really, 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 really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see like the finished product on all of those.
Yeah, I definitely want to find where people are going to be putting a lot of that media you guys are talking about.
There's a bunch of media people out there too. I feel like every time I turn around, there's a fucking camera. There's a really, really fucking cool shot of Jet. Have you seen this yet, Corey?
From
he's like from
the Polaroid.
Yeah, dude, with
yes.
the black smoke in the background.
It was really good.
Holy
It was really
fuck,
good.
dude. That
Yeah.
looks like that's like I thought that was added in. I'm like, no, that's just EG smoke in the background. Holy fucking shit, that looks cool.
Yeah, it was really, really, really good.
Oh, it's killer. And then when, dude, I didn't realize how awful those fucking pit vipers are until I saw a photo of myself wearing them. And now Cass bought everybody else these AliExpress fucking I started calling them shit vipers because they're not real pit vipers.
That's funny.
And he bought them all for us, and then everybody was wearing them, and they're horrendous looking, and I'm never gonna put them on again.
They're great.
They're so terrible. They're
Hell
so
yeah.
awful.
I'm gonna start wearing them to work.
You should. They suit you. It's a good fit. But
it would definitely make me take them off.
yeah, gameplay wise, it was great. I mean, as always, Copperhead's the spicy boy hours. I don't know if it's location. I don't know if it's the time of year. I don't know if it's play. I don't know what causes it, but man, motherfuckers are chirpy at Copperhead.
Oh yeah,
and we weren't involved, or at least I wasn't involved in any kind of like real shit talky altercation. Thank you. I do try.
Wow.
I did have one where I pulled. I don't have an in-game admin card, but I did pull out like, hey, quit breaking the fucking rules. I had this happen twice. One was when we were pushing a flag just outside of this compound, and I get the flag like almost all the way up, and I get fried. But it's because there's a big iron gate, and there's about 3 or 4 inches here, and there's 3 or 4 inches in the middle, and they're sticking their LMG barrels through that. That's a murder hole. Can't fucking do that. And so they're just like trying to hose everybody, and I'm yelling at them like fuck it. And then finally I just like stood up and just got like just basically became like a wall and just got eaten by fucking BBs for a bit. But I was like, you dickheads can't fucking do this. Stop it. You're fucking cheating. Cut it out.
Yeah.
And then I had one kid where like at the end of day 2, which I want to get to how this happened, but he was doing those little like he's dead. He's doing like a cough nudge to alert his teammates that our guys are about to breach through. And I just like kind of like kicked a rock at him. I was like, hey, don't do that. He's like, what? And I was like, don't do that. You know what?
Shut up.
Fucking stop it. Yeah. No. Cut it out. Ghosts can talk to other ghosts. I can call you a fucking asshole all I want. Whatever. Don't tell me fucking dead men don't talk. Don't fucking grunt and make a bunch of noise to try to alert your teammates, you asswipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of cool photographers.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of great media floating around already. So I'm kind of curious to see what happens when some of the photo dumps come around on Facebook.
We saw,
which will normally never feature any of me, so I don't know why I'm excited about it.
I think there's like 1 or 2 good shots of me when I'm dead sitting in front of that flag, and that's probably it. Because I was largely this is something like gameplay wise I hadn't anticipated. Well, I did anticipate that our comms wouldn't fucking work properly, which they like kind of did and kind of didn't. But B, I didn't realize like, especially with the nature of that AO and how it works, it's really fucking easy to get separated. So when I was sniping, like it was basically just me by myself the whole time. When I was running the sniper, like there might be like, I think Ellis stuck with me pretty good most of the time, and I'd see Cass because Cass is hard to miss. But like the entire rest of like the Vans gang crew was like, they feel like you guys stuck together pretty well. And I was always just like walking back dead as you guys were going somewhere.
That was my next question. Is like, Corey, like, yeah, who'd you mainly stick with most of the time? Was it Jenny and all of them?
It was pretty much us and the California guys, and then sometimes the California guys would split off, but there was normally no less than 5 of us, I think.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it was normally like Cole, Miguel, Jen, Ellis, Cass was in there a lot. Sam was with us a lot. So we never stepped off just 1s and 2s. It was always probably a group of 5 or more, but we would get split up. But normally it was like the California people would go, one direction and our group would go the other. So yeah, we linked up like 20 times a day. So yeah, we always had a really good group, and comms were better than it has been at other events.
We're working on it.
Yeah. For the first time I was able to talk to Cole and hear him. So that's a plus. Because normally I can hear him. I just can't transmit anything. So
especially when I'm hot micing the whole time.
It was awesome. So it was towards the end of day 2. They've been in the market the whole time.
Well, so we had just gotten to the market. Yeah.
Yeah. 4 or 5 of us we were going back to the house and loading up the trailer, getting everything cleaned out, kind of starting, because it's a long process to get those houses cleared out, especially when you have 10 people in them.
Oh yeah.
And so we're working on that. And the radio was still on in the Razor because we had taken it back and we'd brought back some of the fob bags and stuff. And it starts going off and it's just Cole screaming at the top of his lungs. And I thought he was literally trying to communicate over the radio, but he was just hot micing. He's like, dude, he's like, I got into the compound. I killed a bunch of them. And then it goes quiet. And then you hear like, you hear all these airsoft noises like he's in this epic gun battle. And he's like, woo. And like, he just keeps yelling into the mic and making all these noises. And you just hear a bunch of rustling. And then you finally hear him call hit, but it was freaking hilarious. So like I thought he was calling somebody over the radio. I didn't realize he was just like narrating his own awesomeness to himself.
No, the reason is because I was like, all right, so like on the compound split into 2 sections. And the right side has that field that we kept going to. Well, I had managed to like low crawl that whole fucking length of that field, like playing prairie dog and popping up, going down, popping up, going down, popping up, going down. Like, and every time I'd pop up, I'd like take out a guy and I'd go back down. The majority of UFS of TAN team was on going into the main style or the main side of the market. And so it's me and like 2 or 3 random kids in Cass. And eventually we finally leapfrog. Cass gets fucking fed up and just sprints once we get close enough and gets to the compound and gets shot. I run up and I'm like 50 feet, 20 or 50, 75 feet behind him. And I duck down as soon as he gets shot. Just like, again, the 834 split rig is incredible because you can just go straight fucking chest into the dirt. And I just drop.
Dolphin dive.
Just dolphin dive. And I'm laying there. And 2 guys come out and I lace both of them. And as soon as they call hit, I just jump up and I fucking sprint in and I come around the corner and shoot a dude up top, shoot a dude down low. And I lean and look down the main corridor of the market and there's a guy and there's nobody there. And then I can see a guy like move through the door, through like a couple of the doorways, like just a sliver of his hand. And I fire one off and this fucking fat Kobe, see him so dumb. That BB just goes whoop and hits the dude right. He goes, God damn. And so I shoot him and I pull out, and this is like where you hear me like huffing and puffing because I'm running by cats, and I was like, I got him! And I just like take off and I go around the backside of the compound, and they're the main compound where UFS is currently attacking from the front. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be fucking sweet. I've got these assholes. And I'm running up and I go down this trench and I pop up and I shoot 2 guys that are up top. And then I immediately go and I kick this fucking metal gate door in, like bowl through it, and I gun up and there's 8 dudes just like staring at me from like 8 different directions. And I'm like, oh, and I get fucking fried. Just lit the fuck up. But they're like laughing and shit. They're like, holy fuck, dude, was that just you? I'm like, yeah, that sucks. I'm gonna go sit over here because now everything hurts.
Yeah, it was even funnier just to hear it and have no clue what was going on. It was just screaming. I'm screaming in like self narration,
doing my own theme music.
That was great. No, but it was a really, really, really good event. It was a really good event.
It's always
we all had a blast. Too. We had some good food. Food was great. Yeah, hit up there the janky gym that's out there for a day. That was pretty good.
You guys get into any after hour like festivities? Like you guys drink much or not really?
We mainly just had powwows every night. Like we had 2 trucks backed up together and a couple chairs, and just people from all over the event would kind of filter through for a while. We went through all the cigars, and
I went to sleep.
And Cole normally passed out first. Cole is the nappiest person you will ever meet. He is. He can nap anywhere at any given time. Yes. He could sleep for 10 hours and 3 hours later need a nap.
Well, especially now that I'm sober, being in a situation like that, anytime I get like really socially uncomfortable, I just go fall asleep. And so
that's not a bad idea.
So like, especially like Friday night was the worst one because I'm sitting there and everybody's drinking, everybody's having a good time. And like, I don't know what it was. I was just like, I gotta fucking go to bed, or I'm gonna try to fucking take a drink. Like I gotta get the fuck out of here. So that was generally my.
Cole had a close call where what was it? What did you grab
on the way home? Holy fuck. Okay, so like just. I'm gonna lead back into that here in a second, but yeah, on the way we're getting into the car. God bless Ellis for this. He comes and brings this 4-pack of Red Bull that had been in the case, like I thought, like just a pack that had been in the fridge, and he sets it in the truck. And I lean down and I grab one and I go to pop the top, and I'm about to just like one shot slam this Red Bull. It was a high noon, which is a vodka, like a vodka fucking seltzer. And he puts his hand on my hand. I'm like, you getting fresh with me? And he's like, that's not a Red Bull. I was like, what are you talking about? It's a holy shit. This almost became a very interesting ride home. But yeah, I mean, that's like, I'd go out and normally my coping mechanism with stuff like that is I'll go out and I'll smoke. So I'll go out and smoke a cigar, hang out with everybody, have a good
Yep.
time. As soon as that cigar is done, though, expect me pretty rapidly to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
which
Cole
is
set, Cole, hey, but I will say this. I was proud of Cole. He set a new record for driving. I think he almost drove
Damn.
how far did he
for
drive on the
both
way back?
ways.
Okay, so
both
he
ways.
drove 8 of like 37 hours of driving. So let's
Yeah.
hear it for Cole.
and
Let's
then
hear it for
5 back home your fucking house because Oklahoma is bullshit.
Well, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
granted, you did drive out to Colorado for me, so yeah.
That shit sucked, man. I don't know what it is about the I-35 corridor coming out of Colorado, but god damn, that took forever.
Yeah.
And yes, I did. And we may very well be driving. I've got to see what the schedule looks like, but we may be driving to see you as well, Carl.
Wait, in October?
1836, yeah.
Okay.
Trying to figure
What's,
that
wait,
one.
wait, wait,
Are
what's
you
the-
gonna be there, you piece of shit?
What's the color? Just tell me.
Yeah, what's the date? What's the date on it?
What's the color?
Hold on.
Just tell me.
Let's
So
go. Yeah,
realistically-
let's cover some upcoming events too.
So realistically, I haven't touched an airsoft gun in like 3 years. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go through
Hey,
my
you're
shit.
too busy touching women. Jesus.
Car
Uh,
stuff.
I know. Let me see. All right. Copperhead's done. 1861, October 8th through the 9th in Elbert, Colorado.
So I should probably. So the question is, do we do green or tan? And I'll buy a ticket
Green.
literally right now.
Green.
Yes.
Dude, green's going to fuck on that AO. Not that I remember much of it, but I think sniper rifles in green is going to be
Oh, dude, I'm in. You and I'm in.
snipe
100%,
times.
Yeah, I'll have to check the schedule. Fall's busy. There's a lot of stuff.
Wayne says off the break. Koss was waiting to deploy. Lee was waiting to ride out. And he calls Corey's Razor and says, "Call. Look at it," and it's Ellis's. I could see the pain in his face when Lee was calling, knowing that it was for him.
Yeah, I may have turned the video off whenever that was going through.
You're just like, damn, that sucks. Like,
I was like, boop, because I was like, I remember this because I was like mid conversation with somebody. I was like, yeah, oh man, but no, yeah, I think 1861. I think green team. I like switching back and forth every event. To be perfectly honest,
Yeah,
I do too. That's why I was asking. I was like, I genuinely like swapping sides just to get the experience of both. It's fun.
because we've got that. What's the next AMS event after that? Is Black Site, which I don't think there's any way I'm making that one. And then Ranger Games again, apparently, but they haven't announced. It's not announced yet, and they haven't announced where it is.
Didn't they like not do it?
Oh no, it's
Recently?
Colleen, December 10th through 11th. They said last year. They said was the last year.
are you sure?
Um,
I don't
mhm,
remember that.
100%.
Okay, yeah,
remember
that's
that.
what I'm hearing.
I
No,
remember
no,
multiple
I remember you guys saying
times.
something about that.
Multiple times they said this is the last Ranger Games.
Yeah.
I feel like
'Cause it was
Ranger
like-
Games is always just a solid event.
Yeah,
I
it
don't-
is. It's a great event. I
Yeah.
can't remember why last year they were saying it wasn't going to happen again, but because it was like this is the last Broken Home. We were like, oh well, okay, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, but nobody
And then-
misses Broken Home.
Yeah, and then Ranger Games, they were saying this is the last Ranger Games, and everybody's like, oh, what the fuck, really?
Okay.
I mean,
Um,
that AO is sick. Like, yeah, that place is a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
Okay. When's Black Site?
Black Site is November 5th and 6th
November 5th and 6th.
in
Okay.
Alliston, Alabama. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to make that one. But
Yeah, I don't know about either of those. I would like to do the new one. I'd like to do Black Site too, but
1861's cool. That AO's
Dude, that
really,
AO is
really, really
legit.
neat.
yeah.
it
I've
is
been
legit.
I've been hit up to do photography and videography for the Tactical League October 22nd at Freedom Airsoft. So I'm doing that one for sure. And
Nice.
then there was another one somewhere in between Tucson and Phoenix. There's another like startup that's doing their first event that had hit me up for photography and videography. So I suck
Darren.
at airsoft, but I take pictures, so maybe I can get into that side of airsoft.
Darren, sweet baby boy.
Oh my God,
We
it's Darren.
lamented.
Yeah, we
lamented
missed you,
the
bro.
entire
Dude,
fucking
I miss
weekend about
Darren so
how
much.
we don't know anyone at EG anymore. I don't know any of
Yeah.
these fucking guys.
I don't even know if we have a code that works there anymore.
It's
Probably not.
It's buried in the fucking site somewhere.
Yeah.
Somebody go buy smokes and figure it out. Go.
But I miss seeing Darren. I miss seeing Omar. I miss seeing the homies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
I do
upsetting.
too.
Oh man. Yeah, great time, great event. Really enjoyed it. I'm going to continue to tool this Alpha 34 chest rig out. He can get Josh on it. Sweet. I'm going to continue to tool this chest rig out for more snipey snipe purposes, because I will say one thing or two things about the Alpha 34 that I don't like. Number one, drawing and reindexing your mags for the M4 nylon on the inside is impossible. Partly because of positioning and partly just because it's new nylon, so I'm sure that'll wear in a little bit. My other complaint is that you have like this thing is made for the fattest fucking human beings known to man, because I've got big ass shoulders and this thing is like bra slippage all the fucking time, and it's really kind of annoying.
So like, I'd be fucked if I was wearing it.
Yeah, dude, it's not for small guys.
Which what is that?
That chest rig I was running, the Alpha 34.
Oh yeah.
It's like I have it cinched all the fucking way up. Now it is set up to be able to put over like a slick carrier or to be like it's got a lot of use. And what I really like about it, because what I say a lot of the time is that Spiritus's best product are their pouches, and the fact that this rig is made up to like go with all their shit is really cool. So I do like that chest rig a lot, and I'm gonna have to make a Ranger Green version of it now for green side, which is kind of lame because it's fucking expensive as shit. That's the other downside to Spiritus. But I do like it a lot. Let's see.
So the other thing I wanted to talk about was you guys said there were some Siege updates coming along.
Wayne, who is in the chat, sweet baby boy. It's sitting at like, I feel like this is like a video game download that's been sitting at like 90% for like 2 years.
Yep. That's pretty much where it's at.
We're waiting on one very specific item from one very specific person who specifically doesn't seem to want to do their fucking job. So, you know.
He does good work.
I've heard the kid does phenomenal work. It would be great if I could see any of his fucking work.
Yeah.
Is this like okay, maybe I won't ask what it is if it'll give it away, but
no, there's no giving it away.
It's sound design. It's sound design.
Oh, okay.
That's what it's in. It's in sound design. Again, the issue with a low budget film is a lot of people are doing you favors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
The problem is that sometimes people don't do the favor.
Go through.
So
it's not a favor.
There's really no
fucking got paid for it.
There's no like. I can't complain. A lot of people did me favors to make this happen. Do I want it to be done? Yes, I want it to be done. Is it going to get done eventually? Yes, it's going to get done eventually. Would I prefer it to have been a year ago? Yeah, I would have preferred it to have been a year ago. But, you know, Charles does good work, and we're just waiting for Charles to get done doing his good work. Whenever it gets done, we'll all be happy with it, and we'll get to see it.
Yeah, and I think that's part of it. It's like, I know this kid's incredibly talented. From all accounts, he's got very, very talented individuals vouching for him, which is cool. But I want to see the shit get done so we can move on and continue on to bigger and better things. And keep...
yeah, and we're starting to tool around with some new projects, trying to land on something. I think if you haven't seen the movie Prey yet, it's incredible, and it's kind of inspired me to do a smaller, maybe action thriller type film, maybe a little bit of horror in it. So something different out of my wheelhouse. Maybe something a little less tactical and more drama. So I think it'd be cool. But there's that, and then there's some other projects we're tooling around with. So there's one or two in the mix, and then Cole and I are working in on some auditions right now, trying to get back out there. So
trying to make some stuff.
Well, we can say it. It's open casting.
Yeah, there's open casting for Stalker.
Yeah, for Stalker. So
we are going to put our hats into the ring on that motherfucker and see what happens.
So we'll see. Regardless whether I'm in it or not, it'll be a good project.
I was gonna say,
if you like Overlord, you're probably gonna like Stalker. So
yeah,
I feel like you guys have a good chance. So
there's like it's an open audition, so there's like real actors trying out for this.
And yes. In future projects, you know, you remember the people that show up and do the work. That's all I'm going to say about that. So if you're in an industry that you want to succeed in, bust your ass, do a good job, finish things on time. If you tell somebody you're going to do it, do it. That's all I'm going to say.
We've harped on that a lot.
I'm not talking noise. I've just and listen, I've stepped on my own dick before. I've told people I could do something and life gets in the way. It happens. But don't expect them to reach out to you again.
And then Ten of Swords is cranking right the fuck along, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, Ten of Swords looks phenomenal. Wayne screwed me over by buying his super expensive, awesome lenses after my shoot, but they both look phenomenal. Siege looks great, and then Ten of Swords has a very different look, but it's also great. So I'm excited for both those films, and we're both excited to have had a part in both those films. Hopefully, they come out at the same time. I don't know. Or around the same time. Not.
Are we?
I don't want competing opening weekends.
Yeah, I was like, speaking of, because I do, if they do some kind of like viewing or some kind of like opening night, I do want to fly up to Utah for that.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
For Ten of Swords, yeah.
And then of course the one for Siege, if and when, or not when, but or not if when it finally gets finished. And then there's some other stuff in the pipeline. I know there's TOS randomly got like semi kind of sort of viral for a bit there, and kind of attracted some eyes from it's the aesthetic. The heist aesthetic has become kind of a it thing lately, and it's kind of cool to see that TOS might have been like one of the first precursors on that, at least as far as the Instagram world goes. And a lot of that is in no small part due to Corey and Wayne's on the fly. Hey, let's fucking chase Cole and Mendoza with a pickup truck down a busy Ogden street, which is funny because when I was picking up my new AKV today, the guy at the gun store is from Ogden. And nice. I mentioned, and he's done some similar things, and I mentioned that, and he had seen the fucking trailer, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I know exactly where that is. That's fucking 24th Street." And you've got, I was like, "Yeah, we shot in the Lucky Slice down the way." And
yeah, there was a pretty cool instance where I was meeting with a guy from Full Send Milsim. I'd met him once before, kind of in passing, but we were talking to him about Tactical Challenge, and like I said, they have their first event coming up somewhere out near Phoenix.
Oh, cool.
And say what?
Oh, so that might be one to hit up.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the ranch that they have. So I've got to get some more information on it, but you can find it on Instagram if you go to Full Send Milsim. I think they're on Hop Up too, where you can buy tickets and stuff. But nice. we were having a conversation with him, and he randomly started talking about. I think I was talking about. No, I hadn't said anything about the movie stuff, and he brought up. He's like, "Oh man, airsofters are doing a ton of cool stuff in cinema." He's like, "Have you seen this Ten of Swords stuff?" And you're like, Jennifer was standing next to me. And she goes, "Oh yeah, like he directed it." And he's like, "What? No way!" So it's pretty funny that stuff is getting out there. And like I said, way back when, there's a direct connection between like I feel like indie films and like the airsoft community in a weird way, where those props, if you were to get them done in Hollywood, are going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, but you can just put out like "Hey, can you do me a favor, buddy?" in the airsoft community, and you can get like real gear anytime. And you can make really cool stuff happen.
Any given airsoft event, our group has like 20 grand worth of shit on their person.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
I mean, the Razor already puts us over that, and that thing was like the biggest prop of the weekend. I think we used it in 3 shoots and a bunch of photos. And
you guys didn't use it at the game at all, did you? Or no?
To shuttle our shit.
You did.
Yeah. So here's what happened last year. Last year we had it on there, and is you have to stay with it. You can't just dump your vehicle in the middle of the field, which is fine. That rule makes sense. So what happened is like I would insert everybody, and then I'd go back and I'd be like, "Hey guys, who wants to go?" And they're like, "Oh, we're just gonna stay with our team." Like nobody wanted to like get like this quick insertion, as dirty as that sounds, but it's like nobody wanted to hop on and ride. And so like day one, it was the same thing. It was, "Hey, where do you guys want to go?" "Oh, we're just going to hang out with our crew." And I'm like, I can come back and get the rest of them, right? And I can get you there 10 minutes faster than walking across this huge AO. So by the end of day 2, I mean, normally it ends up parked because I want to run with my friends too. And it's not an assault vehicle. It's a light troop transport, if you want to call it that. But it's mainly, it would be good for like QRF stuff. And that was that. So it ended up parked most of day 2. Day one, I probably ran it half the game.
Nice.
Just transporting people around. I brought some people with intel back and some other things, but then it got to the point where it's like you drive 13 hours to spend time with your friends. So I wanted to go out and run with them, so I ran with them. And then if it ever, if there ever came a point where somebody needed to go somewhere, we would take them. So it's cool and it's fun to have. Like I said, we used it in 3 short film shoots and in a couple photo shoots. Like I said, that dope picture of that David Lee got, that's the Razor. So it's pretty cool.
It's worth it just to haul shit on and off the AO because
Kind of circling
It
back
really
to the game. So do you think AMS stepped up their performance when it came to like game props and stuff like that, like the storyline this year? That's what it sounds like to me.
There was a lot of
there's more
photos in the
going
command
on.
chat of like props.
a lot more.
I haven't been in the command chat in a while because I'm normally not in charge of things, but because I had a POV, I guess I was added to it. So there was a lot of like fragos going out over there, then putting out pictures of props and things that they had captured, and it looked like the value had increased.
Nice.
Like I said earlier, I felt like the admins were more present on the field. And then they had the flares and the explosions and stuff going on at night too. So I felt like the production value was better. I felt like the organization was better, and that's not to say that they're ever like horribly disorganized. It just felt like there was more.
I feel like
I think they knew they had to be because they added so many players.
I think
Yeah,
they
for
stepped
sure.
up they stepped it up quite a bit this time. Which, like I said, in this anything that we missed was largely just our fault for not being more involved in the command structure. Which I've decided that next AMS I'm going to bite the bullet and ask for a platoon lead, which I haven't done in like 4 years, something like that. So, because I would like to get tasking. I would like to be like actively doing shit instead of just like going out and playing in the field.
Going out and making a mess of things.
Yeah. Like I as much fun as I like going out and fucking around, I do miss doing like actual tasking shit.
It is fun to do.
Yeah. Which the only reason we've missed out on that is just because we're not too terribly involved in the dealio. So now that it's there again, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
But let's see. I think that's about the long and short of that shit, man. Like I had a good time. It's cool seeing the homies. On both tan and green, I ran into Travis Thornhill's great fucking dude. There's one point where Cass and I were basically like we'd been in a stalemate over this fucking aid station for like 45 minutes, and he and I just decided to go for it. And so I somehow made it into the building. Like it's funny. I'm running and I sprint and I power slide into the garage door, and there's like a flipped over desk right here or table, and thank God there wasn't anybody behind it because he would have fucked my shit up. But I slid in and like hit the wall, and I turned just in time. As soon as I hit the wall, I hear like literally just and Cass go, God, how many fucking times you gonna shoot me? Shit. I was like just barely narrowly fucking made it through. I open up the fucking door to the garage, and I have two different grenades. I have like one of the green tagging ones and one of the new yellow and black ones. And I open the door and I throw them in, and they go perfectly into the 2 different corners of the room. And I like pull the door almost shut. As soon as they go off, I throw it open. I go in, shoot a couple of dudes, come down one of those long hallways. And as soon as I lead out, Travis is just fucking there, just waiting for my ass. And he fucks me up, which is hysterical because 15 minutes earlier, he had seen me walking back to the fob and give me a Capri Sun because he's a sweet, sweet boy.
Capri Sun.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I mean, it's
Corey,
cool.
what was your favorite moment from, besides like the shoots and stuff like that, gameplay wise? What do you think your favorite moment was? I was like, Cole, it sounds like it was probably doming the 2 gunners on the truck.
It was pretty fun.
There was a moment. It was me, Ellis, and Jen where we pretty much, not that we were like heavily contested, but we wiped like the whole right side of the field. We took like 3 flags in an aid station because they were all trapped in the market. So
wow.
We did that, and then as we were coming out of that, there was a little firefight going where there was 2 or 3 guys on one side of the house, and they're always stacked on either side of the house. Like every single time when you get an engagement in Copperhead, they're either inside the house or on the walls on the exterior, and we were able to get behind them and kill those guys. That was pretty fun. We had a couple good assaults on houses. I'm trying to think of any like one I didn't have any like super awesome moments or like any great grenade tosses. I feel like Iron Horse, I kind of peaked. Like every grenade I threw was just like on point. Now I suck
Money.
again. So it was just a solid event all around. With that many people, I'm not as sneaky or as agile as Cole is. I don't really get around people. So like I'm normally like yelling at people in the push to like move up and stuff like that. And I just get slaughtered along with everybody else. So there was a couple movements like that where we moved big groups along, which I feel like our group is always kind of at the head of that because for some reason people get scared in airsoft. Just go get shot and have a good time.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
but that was cool. And then there was a cool moment where and Cole was a part of this too. It was Broken Home like 4 or 5 where I was a platoon leader, and it was a horrible event. Like it was deathly hot. It was like 105 degrees and it was like 90% humidity. Our first heat casualty was 5 yards off the vehicle that dropped us off into the wood line. And it was just lucky. It was lucky. And it was just his name was Lucky. And it was just a miserable event. And a guy came up to me in our fob and he's like, hey Corey. And I apologize. I'm terrible with names. If you don't talk to me every day, I'm not going to remember your name or your face because I'm old and my memory's slipping. But this kid comes up to me and he's like, hey man, he goes, I just want you to have this patch. He goes, you were the platoon leader at the first event that I was ever at. And you guys made that like such an enjoyable event. That's why I still go to AMS events today.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
handed me the patch. And I was like, oh, come on, yeah, get out of here.
That is so
like,
cool.
Get out of here.
No, but I mean, like legitimately though, like, if there's anything to learn from that, just don't be a douchebag at events. And if you're in a leadership position, make it fun. Go out there, get killed, act out your death, do whatever to make it fun for everybody. Like if you're the guy that's just throwing a fit and being a douchebag and calling out hits, which I mean, I'm just as guilty of it. Every once in a while I catch myself doing it. But I mean, like, just don't earn yourself the reputation of being a douchebag.
I think if you're in command at any point in time during one of these games, like, yeah, I get it. You paid your money to be there just like everybody else. But if you're taking that position on, you need to understand that to some degree, you're responsible for other people to have fun on both sides of the team, or on both teams rather. And I think that's like super important to find people who do that.
Yeah. So and that's not to say like I've screwed it up just as much as anybody else, but just be decent. Just be decent to people. Like I said, if you're leadership, your job is also to make it fun. It's not just to yell at people and tell them what to do. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's pretend. But I don't know, felt pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Good. Well, I'm glad it was a good game for you guys.
Yeah, no, it was definitely probably. I mean, we've each been to like 30 of these things now. It's definitely a top 10.
Good.
I have got to trade in some of these fucking 1-star patches. I have got so many of them.
Oh, I kind of gave up on collecting.
Dude, they're just. I've got a box that I throw them all into, and I've got like 30 plus. I think at this point, it's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a great time. Yes, that Broken Home was hotter than Satan's asshole. That was disgusting. I was so hungover that entire event too. I don't know I don't honestly have no fucking idea how I made it through that game. But yeah, I mean that's what I've got. Upcoming stuff. 1861 would be fun. I'd like to do some smaller stuff. I'm trying to not travel a whole lot the rest of the year, so that if the possibility of rises that we get to do this film in December, I'm going to need all of my remaining time off for that.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's go over a couple shout outs right quick of things that are coming up. So you have AMS going on in Colorado beginning of next month. Jen is hosting Tactical League at her field. So go get signed up for that if you're in the area, or if you feel like traveling. I think some of the California people are going to go out there, Arizona, New Mexico, that area. Get out there. So support their field, support that event. You can also support her by going to Gadsden Cigars, which we filmed a commercial for, and her code is Gen15, I think. Is that right? I think it's Gen15. You get 15% off, and we're cigar people, and I'll vouch for them. I thought they were great. So, So there's a couple kits in there that I think they sell like batches of all the different cigars. Like you can get like a kit. They were awesome. We enjoyed them. So go and grab some of those, use our code. And then the Full Sin Milsim guys have their first event going on, I think later in the month, or it might be in September. So if you want to go support us, I cannot remember the name of the city. I think it's in between Phoenix and Tucson.
Okay.
But just look up Full Sin Milsim. they do shirts and some other stuff, and their shirts are actually really good, like really, really cool. And I'm actually working on a design for them, so I know that shirt's going to be cool.
Oh, so he's
but
biased. Okay.
yeah. No, but if you want to go support a startup, again, they're in that area, New Mexico, Arizona, California, those places. You know, if it's not too far of a drive, go and sign up. Other than that, I think that's about it.
Cool. Well, I mean, we're right at the hour mark. So, Cole, do you want to send us off somehow? Or
Oh, I got nothing. My last two brain cells are fucking strangling each other for the remaining air. That's
Yeah,
left in my
how
I'm
skull
long-
right now.
I'm still about 30.
home? Yeah, like what day?
It's
you
20.
guys get
We were
home?
in the car for 22. I was in the car for 22 hours.
We got back at 1:00 yesterday,
Okay. Yeah.
and then
But
he had to
it's-
drive another 3, probably 5 hours,
5.
because trying to get
5.
back to DFW from my house right now is terrible. Is it still yeah, the construction is so bad, you stop, like dead stop 3 or 4 times. It's
Yep.
awful.
Damn.
It's disgusting, and I hate it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I got. On that note, Carl, I need you to send me your address so I can send you your.
Can do, Captain.
Yep. And go support our guy Slaughter. He's still got
Absolutely.
great stuff coming out.
Punk's
Well-
got some great shit coming along. Punk has some things in his life good things that he's going
Really
to
good
need money. He's going to need money for. So fucking go spend that fucking mommy's
Hopefully,
paycheck.
we can drag him onto the show the next time we are live. But who the fuck knows when that'll be?
Yeah, so he's moving, doesn't have internet at the moment. That's why he hasn't been on the show. Nothing sinister going on there. He's just like, he's somehow the most busy human being on the planet.
Hustling.
God bless him. But that's it. I'll see you fucking nerds. Like, are we going to start trying to do this shit regularly again? Like, what are we doing?
Yes, I
I'm
would
down.
like to.
Time?
Yep.
Do we
I
want to?
have no life.
See if I listen to the fucking thing. All right. Later.
Bye.
Take it.